This is a beautiful trade. About like entry was like $1, exit was about $3. It's a beautiful trade. I was like, man, I can do this right now. I have meetings whole day. I will not get a chance. Let me really quickly break this down. I was waiting for SPY and I was like, man, this is like 10-minute chart because after 11 o'clock, I watched 10-minute chart and prices started coming down. And I'm like, man, we need to wait for a pullback, right? These yellow lines are my hourly levels, which are made in the pre-market. And I was still waiting. I'm like, man, come on, give me a pullback. I got a pullback, the first pullback, but it's not contained. When it's not contained, I'm not watching it, right? For not for an entry. Like it cool would be cool, but not for an entry. Now, what I did was I grabbed the Fibonacci, I went to the top and dropped it to the bottom, right? So this is the Fibonacci now. You got like 0.236 level, 0.382 level. These are the two levels that I want to see. I'm like, okay, let's see if there's another one. And I got this. I'm like, sweet, not bad. All right. My entry, if I have to take a trade, my entry will go just under this candle. Stop loss will go just above this. Right? That makes sense so far, everybody? Pretty straightforward. All right. I never got a pullback. The pullback that I wanted, or never got an entry that I wanted. So I'm like, okay, oh my God, this looks even better because the stop loss will be so small. I'm like, this looks so much better because my risk is like what, 40, 50 cents for the reward low of the day, hopefully. And still waiting. And it does this. I'm like, oh my God, man, come on. Now, I have been saying this so many times on my YouTube videos and everywhere else as well, that the moment it touches this zero point 0.5 level, that's when the trade becomes like the trend becomes invalidated. Yeah. If it touches this zero point 0.5 level on the Fibonacci's, that's when the trend pretty much. So this is how the whole game works, all right? If it gets rejected of this 0.23 level, that means the trend is strongest. If it gets rejected off this next level 0.382, that means it's strong. After that, I don't want to take this trade. So if it touches this critical level of 0.5, 560.12, whatever it is, I'm not interested. Up until anywhere in the middle, up until that level touches, anywhere, if I get the contained candle, I'm going to take the trade. That makes sense? If it touches the 0.5, it's out. Done. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, there's a 200 moving average on hourly on a 10-minute chart. This looks pretty insane. And I got this candle. I'm like, I mean, I'm like, this looks really fucking good. Yeah. So now I can be like, oh my God, but the pullback has been really insane. I've said this so many times, yo. It's not our job to think, right? It's not our job to think. The system works. We got a trend. We have a pullback. The pullback is contained. And the Fibonacci's are telling us if it's a pullback or just a reversal. That makes sense? So we let the Fibonacci's tell us if it's a pullback or it's going to reverse completely. If it would have touched the 0.5, I would not be interested. But clearly didn't touch. And it's a small candle. And I'm like, bro, this looks pretty insane. If it breaks below this, I'm going to jump in. But because I was trading a little bit later in the afternoon, this is like 12:30 in the afternoon, I didn't want to do next week contracts. I didn't want to do next week or next day's contracts, to be honest, because they didn't have enough volume. They were moving a bit slow. But I also didn't want to do same day expiration. Um, just in case if this trade goes against me, same day expiration would hurt me. Right? If I'm doing at the money contracts, they would hurt me if it goes against me. So what I did was I'm like, okay, I'm going in puts. I will go short the moment it breaks below this 559.6, but I'm gonna do in the money contracts. So I did 560 puts. That makes sense? Because it's the first one in the money. That means by the time my stop loss gets triggered, they will be still kind of in the money at the money. I'm like, yeah, sweet. The risk is super small. Let me do this. I didn't do heavy contracts. I only made like $1,200. Didn't do heavy contracts. And this is how the trade went. Entry, first profit taking right here. This is second, third, And pretty much after that, I'm just like, letting my runners run. By the way, by the time it got to this yellow line, I was pretty much all out. I think I had like 1 or 2 contracts running. I'm like, there's no point. I got out fully. And this is how the trade went. Boom. Do you see what happened here? We didn't use none of our brain. I used zero brain cells. This is why it was such an easy trade. Zero brain cells. Why? The pullback. At one stage, I'm like, man, this is too crazy, insane pullback. I don't like this. But got to a stage where I'm like, man, it's getting rejected off the 200 simple moving average. Has the Fibonacci point. Never touched the zero point 0.5. The trend super strong. Pulling back. The volumes comparatively to the last red candle, super small. Why not? I did small position size and the trade worked out beautiful. That makes sense. Hey, that was my trade. This is it. Sweet. All the way, man. LTP all the way. The trend works. Fibonacci works. The pullback works. Contained candle works. And now you just execute it, and execution is to the point. And that's all. Yeah, trust the system. That's all, guys. I'm gonna jump to this meeting. And I just wanted to quickly come down and break it down. All right, I'm out. You guys have fun. Peace. I love you all. All right, goodbye.